Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you a video hop. Remember, a video hop is where you go down below the video after you've watched this one, click on the next link, and then watch that video, go below theirs, click on the next link until you've hopped all the way back to my video. This video hop is brought to you by the Art Joy of Sharing art community artists, ones who make videos, and it is all about kicking off our August event, which is AJOS, standing for Art Joy of Sharing, Abstract August. This is my favorite. this is my favorite. I love to do abstract art. So, what is abstract art? There's a couple different types. Abstract art is art that does not attempt to represent reality, but rather it seeks to achieve its effect using shapes, forms, colors, and textures. Or you might like to try abstract expressionism, which is art that does not necessarily abandon all figural or representational elements, but can use elements of abstraction to create an emotional effect. Either of those is acceptable during this event. We'll be doing abstract art every single day in the month of August, and so you can follow along or you can play along. Also, we have prompts if you would like to have some type of a prompt to kick off your piece for that day. Starting with day one, which is today, the prompt was square. And instead of making squares in my abstraction, I decided to just use a square canvas. I have a lot of canvases left because I was doing that 100-day project, and I didn't make it through all 100, plus I had extra. So I think I will probably be doing canvases, a lot of canvases during this month of August. Maybe not all canvases. I'm not sure. I might do some art journal pages or some tags. Last year, I did all my abstract, all 30 days on tags, and I made altered shipping tags, which I love to make, and maybe I'll make some of those. I haven't settled yet on what I'm going to do. I mean, who knows what I'll do. But to start this piece, which is a mixed media collage abstract piece, I wanted to cover the canvas with something smoother than the rough texture of the canvas. So I decided to use neutral papers to collage the whole canvas first. And the reason that I wanted to do that is I wanted to try some different types of drawing or sketching tools that are not usual, not a pen, with the felt tip, but something else. I wanted to try some other stuff. So I wanted it to be smoother because if you're trying to draw with something like a stick or something, that rough canvas texture goes bumpity 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 bump, and then you get splatters. So my idea was, okay, I'm going to make it interesting and cool by using some collage, but also smooth out the texture a little bit because I wanted to try this skewer stick to start my mark making. Because if you can use something like this, hold it at the very back and just scratch and scribble with it, scrape with it, you can make interesting abstract shapes to start with on your piece. It didn't work exactly as I wanted. It didn't. But I thought it would do something else. But it still worked. And I decided to just, while that acrylic ink was wet, and this is acrylic ink in the color Nightfall, I think, by the Matisse brand, Pam Carricker colors. And it's kind of a dark blue. And I decided to just go ahead and use a moist brush to kind of smooth it and smear it a little bit, make it more interesting, because the stick didn't work exactly as I intended. I thought more ink would collect on the stick and it would make more marks, but it was really just kind of scratchy. So that's fine. It still made marks. It still worked. It wasn't exactly what I expected. That's fine. No problem. So then I used this bright yellow green acrylic ink from Sennelier brand. And I added a little bit of that color and I let it drip and I got some of it wet. I spritzed it. I cleared up puddles, things like that, just continuing to create. This type of abstract art that I'm doing here is completely cerebral. I'm not trying to make something. I'm not saying, okay, I'm going to draw an animal or I'm going to draw a person or I'm going to draw a landscape. I'm just making marks, and I'm doing it intuitively. This is not something I could recreate. It's almost like a monoprint. I can't do it again. I will never be able to do it again. I can make something in the same colors. Maybe some of the shapes will turn out similar, but it will never be the same. And this is what I enjoy doing. This is the type of abstract that I like to do. Just letting my mind be loose and free, and just letting my hands do stuff and not worry too much about, does it look like something? Am I creating something that is recognizable? In fact, I don't want it to be recognizable. If you think it looks like something, I'm disappointed because I don't think it does. Probably the closest thing might be maybe something you'd see under a microscope, maybe. So I brought in some white gesso and a brush and kind of lightened up a few areas. Then I came back in with that with the dropper from that yellow green color again, and darkened it some. And I'm being really careful now. I'm adding some collage and some bright pink, red, orange type colors for contrast. And I'm tearing the paper and laying it down very gently because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I didn't dry that green because I wanted it to stay raised, and I didn't want to push it down or push it around or get it wet and make it run. I wanted it to stay shiny and raised up. Not all of it, obviously, because some of it's already dried in the background. I'm talking about the lines that I put on, the swirly lines. I wanted it to stay as its intensity, so I didn't dry it. This type of acrylic ink, if you do dry it hard, it can bubble up, and so I didn't want any of that. So I'm just carefully placing my collage, tearing it. Some of this was from my pink basket, some of it was from my orange basket. I'm trying to keep my papers organized and get them in better, better sorting situations. I've been working on that. So I have a large basket for bigger pieces, and then I have a small basket that sits inside and on top of the large basket. And each one has a little tag that's got the color family written on it. But I have a lot of papers that are not all a solid color, or I mean, none of them are a solid color, but they're not. There's not like one dominant color. So I have this other box that I haven't sorted through yet that has colors that are mixed on the paper, and we'll just have to see what happens with that. So I was popping some bubbles as I was shaking the acrylic ink to get it mixed back up because it hasn't been used for a while. It was getting bubbles in it. So I took the tip of my scissors, just because that was what was on the table, and kind of popped some of the bubbles. And now I'm taking the matte medium again. This is a DecoArt brand matte medium. I'm trying to use up stuff that I have. I have a type of matte medium, which is the Liquitex gel matte medium that I prefer, but I'm trying to use up some of the other ones that are in my studio. I have been doing some studio cleaning and organization, and so I'm finding things. And if you don't use it, it's going to dry up, right? It's going to be wasted. So I'm just going through everything and trying to use up some of the other stuff so that I don't have such a collection of all types of mediums. I have all types of mediums, just way too many. So I am sticking it down, and I stuck down the first layer to the neutral layer with this particular matte medium from the Deco Art. I think it's from the Traditions line, maybe from Deco Art. So I've got my little pieces of pinky, reddy, orangey type papers, and I'm just sticking all those down. And I'm getting maybe a little bit of transfer of some of the colors that aren't completely dry. It would be super great if I could just be patient and maybe, you know, go get some tea and chill for a couple hours and wait for some of these layers to dry. But you know, I never do that. I try to speed up the drying with the heat tool, and sometimes that's not very satisfactory, and I even get impatient with that. Or maybe I'm trying not to bubble the paint, or, it's just, I mean, patience would be something that would just really be a blessing that I've never been blessed with. So I got a little bit of transfer onto the matte medium with some of the blue and some of the green in places, but it's okay. I wasn't gonna freak out about it too much. So once everything was all glued down, then I'm adding this rose. What's the color? Rose. It's got another word to it. And this is another one of those abstract acrylic inks from Sennelier brand. I really love acrylic ink, and I think you will be seeing me using it a lot during Abstract August. Uh, it's great for this type of stuff. I even like the applicator it comes with, although it does come out pretty thick and heavy with the dropper that's in the inside. So I am going to try using some different tools to apply it. I also like to drip with it and get it wet and let it run. It's really cool stuff. I also have some golden high flow acrylic, which to me is very similar to this acrylic ink that I'm going to be playing with. Um, and also some India inks that I'm going to be playing with in this same type of a style probably during this Abstract August, because I'm just really enjoying the permanence and these are not water soluble once they're dry, so they're permanent, but they do have that fluid quality of being able to drip and things like that. So I have some high flow in this fine line bottle. It has a very, very fine tip, and it actually might be fun to put all my high flow in some type of thing like this, but I don't have enough of these little bottles. But you can purchase them on Amazon. You can go to my Amazon store, and if you use links that I give you, like my Amazon store or links to Amazon, I get a few cents. So I always enjoy it when you use my affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just they reward me for getting you there. And even if you don't buy what I linked, I still get a little bit of credit for that. So I always appreciate that. So it's fun to take this super fine little needle and just, draw around things, make marks. And again, I'm not thinking. I'm not trying to force it. I'm just letting it flow and just do what I want. Just if something looks interesting, I'll just do it. So then the last thing I did, I'm still not done here with the fine liner. But I will tell you guys, if you like this, please remember to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Of course, go ahead and hop through all the rest of the videos and give all those artists love. We're providing you with free content. So, the least you could do is give us thumbs up and leave us comments. You can also subscribe. Still trying to get to that 20,000, so it's very close if it hasn't already happened. And that's exciting, and I always do a giveaway when I hit a big milestone like that. So my last thing is that I got out a plastic dropper. This is called a pipette, and I decided to use that to make some marks and bring back in that dark color again, the nightfall color. So I'm just going around, I'm letting it flow, I'm just having fun adding some of this color back in with the dropper. And I did like how that worked. It was a little bit of a finer line than the dropper that's inside of the bottle. So I'll probably be doing that again. I also think I have a really fine pipette somewhere, so I'm going to try that one too. And I added a few splats, and I did scratch through some of the splats, as you can see in the pictures. It didn't make it on the video because it was after. So anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.